What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. In today's video, the angry sellers are back. In MULN, last trade 1776. As we approach the 12:30 hour here in Atlanta, Georgia, what line must we hold? And is it really over if we see 14 cents? And is it true that Salvatore Palella, the worst CEO in NASDAQ history of MCOM, formerly known as Hellbiz, just quadrupled the number of shares outstanding? Last trade, 11 cents on the nose. All that and more coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving the camera around once again. Thanks for joining me on this Tuesday. Stick around if you own the EIDL loans and or grants. I've got a message for you before the end of the video. Quick update with respect to the Facebook group for business. If you're a premium member at trysmallbiz.com, and no, you don't have to have a small business. About 25% of our members, thank you very much. Without you, we cannot do this. Just support the cause. It's $60 a month, or you save 16% if you pay by the year. So if you want to be in the Facebook group for business this week, it'll either be Thursday or Friday, so stay locked to this channel and our others around the internet. You must go to trysmallbiz.com, and that'll be followed by the Discord for stocks. We'll not only share a bunch of picks that will not be in real time on Twitter, but you can bounce your ideas off me. We're going to have a lot of fun, both online and soon to be off at trysmallbiz.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I used to be, full disclosure, in the brokerage business from 1993 to 2007. And for the latter half of that time, I had my own franchise in Delray Beach, Florida. And the home base for the firm that I represented, and there was about 700 offices around the country, was in Irvine, California. And I used to call Ed and Tyler every day of the week. And whenever we had an angry seller, they'd say, Jason, I don't know who the fuck this is. And we didn't have dark pools back then, as is the case with MULN and MCOM. But they say, we got a real nasty, angry seller. And I'd say, what do you mean? He said, well, normally if you're trying to get out of size, particularly with a small cap stock, you might lean on the offer. You don't want to crush the stock because you're trying to get the highest price possible. But when you're in there hammering it, I mean hammering it, right? Just not letting it rally, just demoralizing. I am of the opinion, and I've got plenty of evidence to back me up, that there are somebody or some people out there, maybe it's Hindenburg, who wrote the hit piece last year. Turns out they were right. I think the stock is down 99% since they put out that hit piece. Somebody doesn't like David. They want to demoralize. They want to destroy. They want to ruin this company in the worst fucking way because they're not even letting it breathe. Last trade, 18 on the nose. I think I saw it around 1755 with 1751 low. So as I said in our most watched MULN video ever yesterday, 17's got to hold. Let us not forget those 5 levels of support: 14, 17, 21 and a half, a quarter, and 30. We tripled from a dime to 32. In comes the selling, probably the guys that own the warrants that were convertible at 16. That was a double. I don't think, as I said yesterday, that David, who registered 6.4 million shares, and that's his comp plan, reverse split adjusted. I never said that he bought and or he was just giving you the shares. It's what he had previously. I don't think he's dumb enough to have sold in front of or behind the hiring of a lawyer to go after the naked shorts and the $25 million stock buyback. So David, I know you're listening to me and you're not the best of friends. That's fine. We want an answer. How much have you bought back, if anything at all, with respect to the $25 million buyback? Because as I've said repeatedly, 17's got to hold. What was resistance now becomes support. We give up 17 after going from a dime to 32. It's over. Anybody out there that's got these ridiculous price targets of $1, $2, $5, $50, 575 I've seen on stock twits, it ain't going to happen if we give up the ghost here at 17 and change and have to go down and retest the final line in the sand at 14. If that happens, we're not going to $1 organically. Somebody knows something, whether it's the insiders that are blowing out or the naked shorts that are just angry as fucking hell, and they're destroying and demoralizing anybody, including myself, that owns the stock and bought some actually at 1776. yesterday or the day before, my average is 69 on MULN and 68 on MCOM. So we need to hold, simply put, 17 cents. If we back and fill for the next few days, build some energy, take out a quarter, and then 32 on a couple of billion shares on some news-related event, yeah, we got a chance to go up and through a half and challenge $1. But if we give up one more time before I cover MCOM 17 and then 14, it's over. We're going down under a dime. We're looking at a 50 to 100 to 1 reverse split. And yours truly, and many of you that are watching me right now, are going to be bent over this fucking desk without any lube whatsoever, and it's going to be all the way in, up, and out the other side. And by the way, before I forget, shout out to our dear friend Speak and See, who has been up to speed a lot more than myself with respect to EIDL, but he's also moved on to other things. I saw that blazer you had on the other day, my pal. You look sharp as can be, and it's great to see you flourish after EIDL. But as I said at the open, I've got something to say about the program, so don't go anywhere. So MCOM, if you're in the stock as I am, at 68 cents, last trade 11.24, do we have a chance? And which one of these two is actually, in my opinion, a better opportunity to make money? Let me answer the latter question right away, MCOM. I can't stand Sal. And I've got a family show here, I hear you, Ma, of what I might like to do if I ever met him face to face. I don't seem to have the same animosity to David, who's run 4, working on 5 companies into the ground. But Sal is an absolute dirtbag. With his Sicilian and swimsuit model. Don't want to disrespect the wife. She is a very attractive woman. But this motherfucker just cranked out 80 million shares after today's dilution, which he's going to have a filing for. When we did the reverse split a few months ago, before the stock dropped another 95%, we had less than 20 million shares outstanding. We now have over 80 million, 26 million new shares in MCOM, formerly known as Hellbiz, in the last week alone. So when I say MCOM with 80 million versus 3 billion fully diluted with those 2 billion resale shares in MULN, it's easier to move. In fact, if he hadn't, just imagine. We ran to 15.5 the other day, and then this motherfucker comes in with 26 million shares or thereabouts and smacks us right down to 11, close to a dime. If he wasn't doing that, Sal, just get out of the way. I don't get for the life of me now. We added up all the filings. There's over 25 filings with that SEPA that he has with Yorkville. It's almost $35 million. This company a quarter ago had $1.2 million, I believe, on the balance sheet in the quarterly. They now have $35 million minus whatever their cash burn rate is over the last, let's call it 2.5, 3 months. They've got to be sitting on $20 to $25 million. So that's great. Maybe they're going to use some or all of it with YAYO, which is about a week overdue in terms of the merger that would double the company. But if he would just get out of the way and let this fucking stock breathe, and maybe let Yorkville cover some of the short, because I'm convinced for every 10 million they sell, they go short another 5 or 10 million. You'll notice Sal hasn't gone back to Share and Tell, or he hasn't hired the law firm that David at MULN did. You know why? He doesn't want them knowing that it's him that's in there fucking raping us and bending us over the desk and diluting to the tune of, what is that? 60 million additional shares, or 4x over the course of the last 2 or 3 months. We'd have a 50 cent to maybe even $1 stock if he'd go out of the way. So guys like me are dumb enough, or maybe smart enough, to be buying some of it down here in 11 and still trashing the motherfucker, because yeah, I do believe that he should be behind bars with David and Lion Larry, who, by the way, if you didn't see the video of the red light district, aka Lion Larry's Lounge, his last Facebook diatribe from a couple of days ago ago. Not only does he have Joe Biden on the bat phone, not only did he guarantee us last Thursday that there would be 3 deals this week kind of to go along with the $10 billion deal we were promised 90 days ago. No, this time we learned that he's best friends or besties with Evander Holyfield, former heavyweight champion of the world. You'll notice, other than the pool pic with all those Craigslist girls, we haven't seen Lion Larry with a single celebrity, not one, including on that couch where he claimed they all like to come to his house and cry. All 3 of those motherfuckers belong in jail. So until next time, don't go anywhere. Always remember that I love you, and thanks for watching. All right, by the way, EIDL. I've been quiet on the subject because there was nothing to say. You may have seen the news a couple of weeks ago. They claim 17%, which I think is more like it, is due to fraud. There's billions and billions of dollars that they want to claw back. They originally, if you recall, said it was 40%. I called bullshit on that. What we did get accomplished several months ago is that you can reduce your payments by 90% for an entire year. You may have to call. So if you hit the red button and you automatically, because you got a loan of less than say 100 grand, you may have to call in to get the next 6 months. So I'm telling you now, Speak and See, perhaps Ryder as well, you can get your payments reduced by 90% for an entire year. What I think is about to happen is one of 2 things. An offer and compromise program where they allow certain firms to compromise a deal. So in other words, if you own $100,000 and you can prove that you're either going bankrupt or knocking on heaven's door, they'll settle for a quarter of that, a third of that, a tenth of that. They may announce, like they do with the banks that are approved for SBA lenders, that these firms or these types of people, and they may select them outright, you can call to get an offer and compromise. I'm waiting for a call back to get clarity on that. We are now starting to see, as I shared on Twitter, this is the longest post ever. So if you're still here, I really appreciate you. This is why I do these videos, because it's not for the money. You know how much I made last month in AdSense revenue? $410. They've defunded me to the tune of minus 90% because I say fuck too much. Well, I'm not going to stop being me, and I don't want you to stop being you. So if you think I'm doing this for the money, no, I do it for the love of helping people like yourself. So now that we're starting to see, as I shared on Twitter, bankruptcies at a 12-month high. This is the pain that I said 6 months ago the SBA is going to need to hear in front of the election. So I'm going to get a call back in the next day or 2. A few of you called our toll-free number as a premium member. As soon as I have an answer, I'm calling you back. But I am prepared to fight holy hell or holy war, take your pick, in front of the election, whether it's an offer and compromise or a fucking EIDL loan forgiveness program so that you, never pay the SBA a fucking dime. So until next time, always remember that I really do love you. Thanks for watching.